We want to buy mommy a house. You ever say you want to buy daddy a house?
What is the actual functionality behind it?
Yeah. Bringing to life things that we don't usually think about.
Well, unfortunately, men are held to a much higher standard in terms of their appearance.
Yeah.
End of the day, nothing is infinite. What have you done apart from just giving me a fancy looking pool?
Oh. We rolled it? What? That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we'd like to welcome everyone to the C21 Jamaica podcast. Right, another episode and another special guest today.
Thank you.
Right, today we have with us one of our very own, one of our agents, Sir Richard Peters.
Thank you very much.
Richie, thanks for being here.
And thank you for inviting me on this fantastic podcast. I think you're doing a remarkable job.
Thank you very much for that. Right, and big up to the whole team that makes this possible.
Absolutely.
It's a real pleasure to have you here because I know that to get you for any booking, we have to go through a team that goes through a team.
You know what's so funny? I nearly missed this interview because I just came in on a private jet from Paris.
That's
so
crazy.
I'm a little bit...
Not Miami this time.
Not Miami this time.
Oh no, Miami is the weekends.
I hopped the pond just for you.
You guys get the camera getting this? So Richard, we'll have you here today because you have a very topic that is dear to your heart. You describe it as dear to your heart, something that you're passionate about.
Absolutely.
And we want to talk about it. Sustainable and eco-friendly homes. Are they the future in Jamaican real estate?
Wow.
Tell us.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that's a fantastic topic that you've brought up on this podcast because I believe that within the Jamaican real estate market, sustainability and viability and feasibility is something that should be heavily focused on when it comes to pre-existing homes by retrofitting them, as well as future construction and construction that's currently happening right now. But there's two words that I kind of want to hone in on, and that is sustainability and the economics of it per se. Those two keywords I want to kind of break it down in.
So fancy words, break them down.
No, man. So basically, we can start off with sustainability. Now, as you know, Jamaica is what? Land of wood and water and sunshine and everything in between.
Right.
And the great thing that makes this island so unique is our bountiful resources. You can go anywhere in the world and the water is not drinkable straight from the river. So by having these resources, for example, it creates an opportunity for Jamaicans to take advantage in a feasible way, in a proper manner, by not exploiting the resources, so to speak.
Right.
But it allows us to use it and integrate it into construction. So, for example, I had mentioned Jamaica being plentiful of resources, water, right? Water can be used for sustainability in terms of dams, etc., etc. I'm going to get into that, but I'm just kind of giving you a general overview. You can also use it for, what do we have the most of that everybody complains of?
Complaints of?
Yeah, the heat, sunshine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So everybody boasts about. Like, it's a big thing for them to be here in the winter.
Right. So
sunshine.
That's the first thing that I kind of want to touch on. Solar.
Very good point. And especially in light of the recent happenings,
Yes.
a lot of persons are now strongly looking into investing into the whole solar thing. Tell us more about that.
You remember the two keywords that I said earlier, sustainability and economy.
Economy, right.
Solar works with sustainability because it's something that's always there. I don't think that the sun is probably going to explode anytime soon. I hope not. So it's going to be here with us for a while. That means that it's a sustainable form of energy or a source of energy, right? In terms of economics, solar doesn't burn fossil fuels, for example. It's not something that is going to come at an extensive continued additional cost. So for example, when somebody installs a solar system, there is an initial investment that takes some form of money. But in the long-term run, they're going to recoup it. It's called ROI, or return on investment, on that installation of a system. Now, solar has been integrated within the real estate market for a number of years, but to be particular, in the last 5 years, the technology has significantly advanced. So back in the day, you'd have a solar system, it would cost you $4, $5, even $6 million for somebody to purchase a system within their home. But now, thanks to that explosion of solar providers and the advancements in technology, it's now easily attainable by the general or the average Jamaican consumer.
Yeah, because I see some people offering it for even like over $1 million.
Yeah.
Just a little over $1 million.
And the great thing about that, Dre, is that that cost is going down. So, considering that you have a cost that's going down for the implementation of a solar system,
Right.
how does it actually work within the home? No, we have Mr. JPS. No, I know that he's going through a rough time.
Yeah, and you have to be careful when you bring up that name, that triggers PTSD for a lot of us. Including myself.
Oh, geez, I tell you. Unfortunately, they're going through a rough time, but I have to give props to the guys at JPS. They're doing a fantastic job in getting the grid back online.
Yeah, man, persons who are
after
affected.
Melissa.
Yeah.
And I wish safety on them and their families as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So unfortunately, JPS over time, the cost from them in terms of providing energy to the average Jamaican consumer is extremely high. The variables such as fuel, tariffs, all sorts of things can drive up that cost depending on the fluctuation of the market. And I think that is something that the Jamaican consumer should not have to bear. Right? So,
I agree.
So the fact that somebody can actually put a solar system within their home, they bypass Mr. JPS and they use the sun.
Right.
Now, what have they done? They've now gotten rid of that actual monthly cost from having, because everybody needs power, right? So that is one of the core costs in order to run a household, right? That is the core cost of real estate, because if you have a building, there's no power, then it makes no sense, right? It's not gonna be habitable, so to speak.
That is true.
Right? So not only do they bypass that cost, but thanks to making living more affordable, that's what drives people to be more sustainable, and it drives the whole economics of it.
That's what you're saying now, because now you save that $35,000 light bill. Now you can put that to other operating expenses.
There you go.
Absolutely,
Dre. And that is correct, because guess what? If you have Jamaicans leaning towards alternate energy, it means that it makes it cheaper in the long term. It increases the quality of life. And therefore, if more people realize that quality of life is being improved, it will drive the market towards attaining more solar systems. And that's the whole integration within the real estate market. And to add a little bit more on that, when you have a solar system installed in your home, it actually improves the value. Because when somebody comes to purchase your home, for example, they want to know what are the add-ons. Of course, there's 4 walls, there's a roof, there may be a pool or whatever. Various amenities that can assist in marketing the house. But at the end of the day, the Jamaican consumer is looking at what stands out. If I purchase this home, what can I do to recoup my costs? Right? Because the whole point of buying and selling is to make a profit, is to gain benefits and to gain advantages.
Naturally.
And if that system is a part of somebody's home or even a commercial complex for that matter, it makes it even 10 times more attractive.
That is so true. Okay, just even think about it. If a person is purchasing a home now and they say air-conditioned units in it, that gets them excited.
Yes.
Now imagine air-conditioned units powered by solar.
Yes. You're gonna be running that 24/7. You understand?
So when you see that being offered on those,
I mean, I know most times when people enter a home, and they feel that coolness, that breeze.
Yeah.
You understand? They're gonna say, "Wait, Dre, you have money, man. You're running AC all day."
And then I'm like, I'm running the sun.
There you go. You understand? So that kind of integrates itself within making homes more sustainable
and improving the quality of life.
Yeah, and then coming back to the whole real estate market aspect of it, it makes it more attractive for agents to sell the homes. It makes it more attractive for buyers. So it's a win-win situation.
Right.
You understand? And I mean, it's not just about just coming down to the average Jamaican. The larger stakeholders are also doing something with solar. So as I mentioned Mr. JPS. By the way, this is not a marketing campaign for JPS, but I have to speak about the legacy projects that they've done. So there is a renewable energy project that they worked on that is at Hunts Bay. It involves flywheel houses, it involves battery houses, and basically what they do is that they channel the renewable energy from solar, the solar farms that they have out by Clarendon and other places, and direct it to the battery houses. Once there's a shortfall in actual power on the grid, those battery houses kick in, power the flywheels, and then it sends power back to the grid. So it's clean, renewable energy. And if the big guys are doing it, then why not the small people? Why not, well, correction, why not the average Jamaican? Because we'll look about with Talawa.
Yeah,
So
why not us? Yeah.
you understand? So considering that, I think that everybody is making that shift towards solar. And at the end of the day, solar has other advantages of cutting back heat within your home. There's various technology advancements in terms of panels. So instead of having just a rigid panel that sits on top of your roof, you actually have flexi panels that can wrap around the building. So what architects and engineers are doing is that instead of just having a single pane of glass, they actually use the solar panel and cover the wall. Right? So not only are you being shielded from the elements, you're getting free energy from the sun. And that's the integration within it. It really opens up the door to limitless opportunities with how you can apply solar projects and, that technology and integrate it into your home.
And as you said, it definitely improves the energy efficiency, which adds to the sustainability. And and that sustainability now frees up the economics, as I said.
There you go.
All right. So what more you have to tell us about this whole eco-friendly thing?
Well, I hope I'm not a go green guys rambling, but there's a lot of information to be shared. And the second point that I would like to make is about hydrological implementation.
Richie,
And hydrological systems.
Break down those terms. Hydrological.
All right, so
break it down. What is that?
Hydrological designs that can be implemented into real estate and architecture as we know it. It involves hydro. Hydro equals water. So remember, one of the first points I made is that Jamaica is very resource rich, right? And one of those things is water.
Yeah.
So how does water actually apply to sustainability and economics? Now, there's various ways that developers and home builders can use water to their advantage. One fantastic bridge to connect it is by having your solar water heater. So that is a hydrological design. In terms of water being heated by the sun, it makes it less cost, because if you had a natural plug-in heater, it would have run you probably $15,000, $20,000 if you have it running non-stop.
Right.
Don't quote me on the numbers though, but it's expensive.
Very.
And then by having those type of designs, it can make it more feasible for people to cut back on certain costs. Now, it might sound very complicated, or it might sound kind of overbearing to some people, because at the end of the day, everybody is talking about cost.
Right.
But let me break it down for you. There's a lot of developments that are happening right now, for example, that include infinity edge pools. So a lot of people say, oh, when you go on the rooftop, there's an infinity edge pool, blah, 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 blah. But has anybody actually thought about what happens when it rains? And for example, that excess water that goes over, typically it's just usually recycled. But what if there was a way that we could capture that excess water, put it into storage, and then have that for emergency usage or irrigation or other uses that they wish? Because I think what happens is that, yes, designers are trying to get out apartments. Designers are trying to get out homes that have great aesthetic features. But what is the actual functionality behind them? And I think that this is something that the Jamaican consumer should question and ask their designers, what have you done apart from just giving me a fancy looking pool?
Right.
You
like
understand?
a pretty girl with No substance.
Well,
We talk about that part later.
I guess so. I hope the wife is not watching this one.
Oh, jeez.
So, considering that though, there's other features of hydrological design that we can use. One such example is a reed bed system.
The who kind
A
of system?
reed bed system.
Break it down. Break
All
it
right,
down.
so-
So hold on. Before you even go to that, so you're telling me then, so like for example, for those of us who experience rural life of any sort, maybe even if we don't experience rural life or grew up with the with grandparents or whatever, we always have this thing. If it's even a couple buckets, we set it at points in the yard
Yes.
so that we can capture the rainwater.
There you go.
And then we reuse that now for argument's sake when we're doing certain tasks that doesn't require, so we might use it for wash clothes, or might use it, for water plants.
That's a fantastic point you raised because
So what you are telling me, is
Yes.
basically those simple practices are those small practices that we have.
yes,
The we call it
hydrological
designs is basically taking those and putting them at a bigger scale.
There you
And
go.
using it to another level.
That's a fantastic breakdown, Dre.
All right.
That's a fantastic breakdown, and you've gotten the point well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. So speaking to the reed bed system, now a reed bed is basically a bed that has gravel, it has plants, and then what happens is that developers use it to filter water. It's called root zone method, right? So basically what they do is that they have roots that go into through the gravel, they pick up the water and they filter it. And whatever is filtered, that filtration or the water that's left goes into a holding area, into either a storage tank or into a runoff. It's called grey water. Now, grey water is something that is used in a household. It's actually separate from sewage. It doesn't have any fecal matter in it. It's just what's left after using clean water. Now, the good thing about it is that grey water can be used for irrigation. It can be used to clean places externally. I mean, even if the water is filtered enough, it can even be used to wash your car. It can be used back into the household. It's like a recycle.
Right.
Now, the whole thing about this is that how does it equal economics?
Yeah.
So instead of actually having a cesspool truck, for example, to come in every 3 months or every 2 months or even every month, depending on how much the pit backs up, that's now avoiding cost. So as long as you can implement any type of system that avoids cost and then it includes recycling or reusing, that's what marries the two key terms that we had discussed earlier, which is economics and sustainability.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah.
We're bringing to life things that we don't usually think about.
That's
You
correct.
understand what I'm saying?
That's
So
correct.
we have a lot to think of as to how we can, because if it's one thing I know the viewers love is saving money,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And improving their quality of life.
Absolutely.
These pointers are pointing me into that direction.
Great.
So let's continue.
Thank you, sir. Considering that, for example, bypassing the cesspool companies having to come and draw, etc., you also avoid costs from the NWC.
Oh.
No, I think
That's what the sewage costs?
yes.
Okay.
And actually, even water usage costs. Because remember earlier I had mentioned something about irrigation. So you bypass all of those additional fees that you'd incur having to intake water when you can have a tank and recycle it.
Okay. Richard, I want to stop it. I want to not stop it, but I want to pause it for a minute.
Yes.
Are you not in fear of your life?
In terms of what?
You're telling me ways to bypass JPS, bypass the sewage system.
No, man. No.
Bypass
man.
NWC.
You know what?
Right? These people are going to be off,
To be honest with you, they might actually call me and offer me a job. Who knows? Because I know that at the end of the day,
they are trying
to be more sustainable.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, nothing is infinite.
Right.
There's a limit to everything that we have and use.
I'll have to find the best ways to use it.
Right? And even as I mentioned earlier, the sun has a lifespan. It might not end now, But couple billion years, I'm not a scientist, but I know it's going to come to an end eventually.
Even put it simple, the sun, I mean, the sun doesn't go anywhere, but at some point in times, the heat
Yeah,
in the
heat
day goes down,
goes
and
down,
then
it gets cool,
yeah.
you know, understand? So what I'm trying to say is that there's a dramatic shift, especially in the market, for people to be more resourceful and economical.
Right.
And I think that this is something that is essential for the sustainability of the Jamaican market. Jamaica needs to focus more on using what we have rather than bringing in constantly. You understand? And, you know, unfortunately, Hurricane Melissa, it gave St. Elizabeth a brutal beating. You know, my heart goes out to all the families affected. But as you know, St. Elizabeth is one of the staples within the agricultural,
bread and basket,
the bread and
the bread and
basket
basket
parish.
right.
And it shows you how dependent we are on the land. And something like that is just taken away. You can imagine the confusion and all that. So if we had probably taken steps to grow more or to give farmers a better helping hand, then maybe, just maybe, the crisis that we're having now in food shortages would be averted. I'm not trying to become political or I'm advocating, so to speak, but everything ties into one. Every system is connected.
Right.
And when you talk about sustainability and economics, it goes far beyond just applying it to the four walls. It controls the very way of life. You understand? And that's something to consider.
Right.
So feel free to jump in.
No, listen.
So you know,
Yeah.
I don't want to get carried away, but it's really something that we have to consider. Our next aspect that I wanted to talk. Let me just take a sip of this. By the way, amazing coffee.
Thank you. I wonder who made it.
Dre. No, seriously, he does great coffee. Another type of hydrological design, which you probably see on a daily aspect that people use, is a runoff. Now, a runoff is usually where they have a large slab and the water feeds into a holding tank or a storage, and they reuse the water. It's a hydrological design. It's sustainable because you're not inputting water to fill the tank. You're using the nature, you're using the surroundings. The great thing about this is that you can have a massive, large tank. They use it for farming mostly. Usually when you're driving into the country, you'll see like a huge concrete slab built into the mountainside and you're like, what is that? Well, it's actually a runoff. So it captures the rainwater and feeds it into a tank, and that helps with irrigation and other solutions. But bringing it back to real estate. So, for example, somebody having a drum underneath the roof, capturing water, that's a hydrological design. So it's these simple things that can make it more sustainable for people to live without inputting additional costs. So it's applying, like you said earlier, the idea, the concepts can be huge, they can be small, but at the end of the day, as long as it benefits the consumer, the Jamaican homeowner, that's what makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, and I mean, as I say, I like these points because what I think happened to us sometimes is when we get like a shake up, then we start to think about these things.
Right.
So, for example, you know, the unfortunate situation that happened a couple months back with Hurricane Melissa.
Yes.
That has shaken us up to the point where we start thinking of ways, you know, how it is that we can have energy even if we're not GPS powered, how it is that we can preserve water for whatever use and all these things. So people start thinking about a lot of these things now. So, you know, that's why I say I like the points that you're bringing across, because it helps us to start looking at these ideas, whether it is that we knew about them before or whether it is we never know anything about them. So now you're opening up our eyes. So I like it. So yeah, continue. Give us some more.
Great.
Give us some more.
So I wanted to kind of touch on another quick idea, for example. And I know a lot of homes, they're integrating, for example, like a fountain, or they have some form of water feature inside their homes. Now, if even a dam uses what we call like a gravitational energy. They store the water and they have it at a high point. It flows down and then it powers turbines at the bottom that create energy. Now, bringing it back to a smaller scale, somebody can simply have a high point, a high body of water, like maybe a 5-gallon bottle or something, which is at a high point. They sell the small little wheels on Amazon now. You can turn a little water wheel and it can generate current, and you can use that current to power up your lights in the garden. Something as simple as that.
Wow.
At the end of the day, you're cutting back on cost. No, I know at the end of the day, people are going to be like, but Rich, come on, man, that's rubbish. That's small.
Lights,
That's crazy. Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that it's the whole concept. It's actually applying that to cut back on any cost that you have. And once you are using sustainable systems with nature, for example, to cut back in your home, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. That is true. And again, I say, because when you really think about it, we have a saying in Jamaica that says every mickle make a muckle.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes we overlook these seemingly simple measures that we can take, right, to improve the eco-friendliness, or the eco-friendliness and the sustainability levels at which we operate our household or our places of business. So persons might be like, but if you can save $1,000 out there, $3,000 out there, and these are usually recurring costs.
Right.
Energy costs is a recurring cost.
Yeah.
To get drinking water and water for other usage.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get tongue tied, so I don't want to go curse any bad words on the podcast. So that's the whole point. You understand? So once people can achieve that, then they're doing the right thing. The third point, or the third aspect of it, and I'm going to say a term, it's called biophilic architecture.
Again with the big words, you have
No, man.
No, you have to, remember, my brain, you know what I'm saying? My brain is wired to understand simple.
All right. Well,
it's a biophilic?
Biophilic architecture.
That's crazy. Go ahead.
The beauty about biophilic architecture is that it's something that's been happening for eons, ages, but people actually probably don't realize it. Now, the whole term is really marrying or merging architecture into nature. It's marrying a building into the land, so to speak. So, for example, if you have a mountainside, you're integrating a home into the mountain, and you're combining all the systems together.
Is this the same indoor-outdoor living thing that is like?
There you go.
Popular now?
It's huge in Jamaica, actually, because a lot of people, for example, they want to transition from their living room out into the courtyard or out into the lawn, and you have a pool. That is biophilic architecture.
You know what is crazy about this, Richard? Again, drawing reference to the countryside.
Yes.
And drawing reference to whoever get to experience the countryside growing up. So you'll have the house, and it's like a nice board house, right? And you just walk out into the garden.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you walk out. All right, the shade, there's no roof over the veranda.
But the shade is from a tree, right?
It's a tree.
There you go.
And we used to look at this as like, man, this is country.
This is country.
And now we're paying somebody millions of dollars to achieve that type of feel.
Exactly my point, my brother. Exactly my point.
So that is what you call the biophilic.
Biophilic architecture. It's the integration of the home into nature.
Okay.
The great thing about this is...
We're going to just call it country style architecture.
That can be a term too. The great thing about it though is that how does it come into the whole real estate aspect of things? The great thing about it is that you can use, for example, the whole thing about the sales, all sorts of things to boost. You understand? So in terms of, I'm a realtor, you're my client. We are looking at a fantastic property in Havendale. By the way, Havendale market is doing well. There's a lot of great developments going on there. So you say, boy, Rich, I need somewhere that's cool, somewhere that's nice. I need somewhere where I don't need to turn on the fan all the time, or I don't need to turn on the light or the AC. I found you a nice home in Havendale. There's a huge backyard space. There's a lot of mango trees. There's a lot of vegetation. And the house is on a slight hill, right? You have the wind, you have the shade. A lot of people take this for granted because they don't realize how effective Mother Nature is in providing the amenities that people want to purchase every single day.
That's crazy.
What am I saying? The wind equals the AC. The shade equals probably buying a huge canvas to protect you from the sun, or creating a massive sliding door or windows to protect you from the sun.
Right. And it's also part of the AC as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that there's many ways to use the land to your advantage to stop you or minimize you from spending a lot of money. And I think that there's many ingenious ways that people can use, especially designers of today, to integrate that type of design into the homes that they're building. And I think that if Jamaicans are more wary or more inquisitive as to how they can merge their home with the surrounding nature, I think that it will benefit them in the long-term run.
You listen to music?
Of course.
All right.
Definitely.
One of my favorite artists, local artist, Sizzla Kalonji.
Oh, nice.
He had a song, don't know if you remember this, and it says simplicity we use for survive.
There you go.
This is the vibe that you're giving me, Richard. You're giving me that vibe that we need to go back to that simpler time. We need to go outside and look.
Absolutely.
Right? We need to as you say, use what Mother Nature has given us and turning it into something that is beneficial for us, right? And will benefit bountifully. So it's the vibe that I'm getting. The right vibe.
And I'm happy that I'm giving that vibe, to be honest, because that means I'm saving you money.
Yeah, because no, I literally feel like I want to plant a tree.
Of course.
I want to get a container to start recycle some water.
Absolutely.
Like, I start feeling this way.
Absolutely, and I'm happy that you're feeling that way.
Yeah.
And the more people that you can share this knowledge with, is the better.
Yeah.
And the whole beauty about it is that biophilic architecture encompasses everything that we've been talking about. And that's with the hydrological designs and solar. So coming back to the whole real estate market in Jamaica, the unfortunate thing is that developers are monetizing biophilic architecture. What am I saying? If you go and you want an apartment and you say, I want large windows, you want large doors, you want this and that, instead of actually using a simplistic design, they're monetizing it and giving you this over the top massive concept, and you spend a bag of money you want to design a home and all of that. It's already there for you.
Yeah.
You understand? It's just you having to create that particular design that you want in a feasible way. And the unfortunate thing about it is that there's a lot of contractors who are taking advantage of this and monetizing it in such a way to make it so expensive that when somebody actually looks at a home tied into the mountainside, they think, whoa, it's a lot of money, man. That's wow. When really and truly, it's just creating that design to just. You understand?
Yeah.
I know that when I'm talking, it sounds very simple. It sounds really easy. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of the design concepts that I'm talking about does take money. But the good thing about it is over time and technology is advancing, right? You now have container homes that utilize solar on it. You have container homes that have thermal piping. When you run the water through the metal, it can transfer conduction, all sorts of heat energy transfer, and it creates more energy for you.
Right.
There's many advancements in that, and there's many ways that it can be applied. Unfortunately though, because of times and what's happening in the market, it might be a little bit expensive.
Right.
But the whole idea is that this is something that can be attainable, just like how solar was expensive once upon a time, but now it's affordable.
It's more affordable.
So I think that if Jamaicans and us as agents as well, specifically push those type of ideas and concepts to our clients and find properties that can be developed to show to the world and to the market space that this can be done, we'll be in a better position.
Right. When you're talking about it now, my mind is going crazy now, because I'm even thinking about homes that we look at and say, you know, what we look at fixer uppers, but we'll never look at them because that house is old,
Yeah.
they look tattered, whatever. But when you maybe think about some of the concepts that you brought to us today, we say that these homes, or which, you know, on a normal day we might look past, can actually start to look in them.
Absolutely.
Because this gives us the perfect opportunity now to utilize these eco-friendly steps.
Absolutely.
From the get-go. But you already have a start, because there's already a structure there.
There you go.
Right? And you are going to work on revamping or refurbishing, not necessarily refurbishing the structure. So now you can incorporate these methods into your design.
Let me tell you something, Jay. I know that you deal with the marketing aspect in the company, but let me tell you something. If you ever go into the field and you're selling homes in a boy, you're gonna really give me
Richie,
a run
don't
for
say
my
that.
money.
Don't say these things, right?
Serious.
Richie, my head swells easily.
Man, I tell you, man, because the way you catch on to the points and how your passion is ignited about these concepts is very good.
Yeah, because I mean, first of all, you had me at saving money. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you had me earlier when you say better quality of life.
Yes.
Those are things that I sit and literally daydream about.
It's something that everybody should think about.
So I really like these ideas that you have given me. And the funny thing about it, as I say, is that I know of the term, I know of the concept, I didn't understand it. I now realize that I didn't understand it.
Yes.
And I know starting to understand it.
Yeah, everything is connected. And once we can figure out that secret formula.
Yeah.
You understand?
I like how you put it, that secret formula.
Once we can unlock that formula, everything is easy peasy going from there. And just to kind of summarize it, you know, in terms of the whole architectural aspect of it, it reduces light costs, water costs, it improves, reduces stress because, for example, if you can actually look out at the view, for example, the more people can see or hear, you understand, it works with therapy. Yeah. So everything,
mindfulness.
There you go. So once you have a great design in your home, it can positively affect you living within those four walls.
And also, just your work, your work every day, and a part of what keeps you just going hard, even sometimes when you're not well, is just the thought of the recurring bills.
There you go.
So you keep going even when you're not 100.
There you go.
So now, that also takes some pressure, knowing that, oh, listen, my solar is working for me. My hydrological design is working for me.
At the end of the day, a lot of people want peace of mind.
That is it.
And I think that once you have a design that clicks, not only does it save you money, but it makes it a healthier living environment.
That is true.
It makes it easier for the developer in the long run because they now have the systems to implement it at lesser cost. And also, eventually, I'm assuming that the government will want to give grants and to help out buyers who are interested. For example, the NHG is doing such a fantastic job.
NHG.
You know, I have to give them props.
I have to big them up.
Yeah, man.
They have loans for solar.
They have a solar initiative.
And there's one also for the water.
There you go.
There's one also for water.
There's one for irrigation.
Right.
Solar projects. So the government has been doing an excellent job in making sustainable living affordable for Jamaicans.
Seeing the future.
Moving
towards the future.
You know, there's a vision, I think it's Vision 2030, or there's a vision I know that they have for Jamaica, for the island to be more sustainable. And I think at the end, sustainability, that is the word of the day. You understand? And sustainability equals economics.
Right.
And once the two, they go hand in hand, I tell you, once you have that marriage, you can never go wrong with that. You understand? So, I mean, that's really what I have to say. I hope I didn't bore the audience, but it's something that I can be compassionate about.
If you given ways as to how we can improve the quality
Yeah.
of our lives and have more money and be able to do other things, if that's boring, then I guess you succeeded in
tell you.
boring the audience.
Yeah, and I just like to say a big thanks to the production team as well. You've been a fantastic host, and I know that what you're doing for the benefit of all the Central agents.
And for the people.
Yes.
We're doing this for the people.
You're a hero. You're a champion.
No. That's for the people to decide.
Okay, my
But
brother.
no, because we want to, as I said, the aim, what we're passionate about here is to enlighten persons, right? About real estate, the different avenues, the nuances, the whole, all of these things when it comes to real estate. And a lot of times, as I say, even though we know of it, we don't dive into it, or we don't realize that sometimes we're looking at we're walking past opportunities.
There you go.
And having conversations like these, it enlightens myself, it enlightens the people. And now we can start to see opportunities in places that we usually overlook.
Absolutely.
And that's what we want to do. I know you're busy, Rich, but before you go, I have to play a game with you.
Okay.
Right? So there's a game that we play with our guests, and the game is this or that. Right? So basically what I do is present two options to you, and you select the option. You select your preferred option.
By saying this or that.
Well, you're going to pick the, just call the name of the option that you prefer.
Okay,
So
no problem.
So it's two options, right? First, house with a land or apartment complex living.
House with a land.
So you can have like 15 kids.
Yeah, why not 20?
20.
Wifey? Yeah.
Sure, you're going to be. I'll leave that. Resort town or city living. And I know why I asked you that.
So when I was in London, and
Take note, guys. First it was Paris.
Oh my God!
Right, weekends in Miami, and when I was in London, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
It's the fast life, the fast pace. For example, taking the tube, and it's just I love that type of lifestyle. You're just on the go.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as we know, we're all aging, so you have to slow down.
Yeah.
So, you want that resort style of living. You know what? I'm gonna way over to resort.
Resort. Cause the beach is right there.
Yeah, the beach is right there.
Right there. I mean, you can get coconut.
Fresh coconut.
Fresh coconut in the morning, right?
Yeah, man. It's actually.
You might be closer to somewhere that actually makes the ground coffee.
There you go. So, yeah, you're right. Resort is better.
Modern style of design or traditional?
Modern. I'm very.
I don't know if we're going.
I'm very minimalistic. So because even in my home, it's
like Steve Jobs,
very minimal.
Like a big house with one tiny desk.
Well, well, when I reach to that stage, because I'm nowhere close to that. I'm working though. A lot of designers, they have huge rooms and then just like a little table in the middle.
Yeah.
And
you know what I think is, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. You know what I think is the reason for that, or what is behind that. There's so much things happening in persons at that head, so many ideas bubbling, so many concepts bubbling, that they already feel crowded. So the space has to be.
Yeah, but not only that, but space is also wealth. Yeah, space is wealth.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because in some places.
Write that down. Someone needs to.
No, it's true. So a lot of places, for example, unfortunately, in lesser income countries, everything is squeezed up.
That is true. That is true.
As you know, land.
Brazil.
Unfortunately, you understand, but land is scarce. That's why the value of land is always increasing. So, if you have lots of land space and large living space, it's a sign of wealth because space is what people need. Space is what people want.
All right.
Yeah.
Farming or real estate?
Yeah,
and I know why I asked you that again.
I know why you asked me that question. Can I say both?
Yeah, you can say both.
Yeah.
You can say both.
I would like to dabble in both. However, coming down to it though, I would say farm. Because unfortunately, as we know it, real estate is tied to a market and a market fluctuates.
People always need food. Once people are
People always need food. And
quality food.
the land is not going to look at me and say, hey, Rich, because of the market value today, I'm not going to grow. No. So I would lean towards farming.
All right.
Not that I don't love real estate because I'm a real estate agent.
I know. Well, I also know that you're in that area.
Yes, I am. I dabble in that sector as well.
All right. And with that said, pickup truck or SUV?
Well, men and their toys. They like pickups and SUVs. I would say
I thought this was a no-brainer. When I said this, I'm like, I should even bother ask this.
I would say a SUV.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I thought you'd have said pickup because you're like,
I've driven.
It's the in between.
I used to drive a pickup as the daily drive. And one thing I noticed is that it's kind of bumpy, to be honest. It's not that comfortable. Because when you don't have any weight in I won't say the manufacturer's name. But I know that when you're driving in it, it's a little bit bumpy. The SUV gives a more refined drive. And yeah, you can take the kids and take the family around and whatnot. So can get the job done.
Okay. Clarendon or Kingston?
Boy! Wow! All right. Well, you know what? I've seen a lot of beautiful men in Clarendon on my journey. So Clarendon is looking good sometimes, but Kingston at the same time have something going on for it in terms of the culture, the lifestyle, and all that. So, but here what? I won't single out anybody in that question. I'm actually gonna say both.
That's crazy. Yeah. All right. Well, that's safe.
Well, I don't want to step on anybody's toes.
You're a safe guy. All right. Coming down to some more personal. Well, I mean, everything's personal. But, so, ready for this one?
Yeah.
Ready for this one? I want to take a sip before. Let's take a sip.
I'm ready.
All right. Brewed or instant coffee?
Brewed.
All right.
Definitely brewed.
All right. Cool.
Yes.
All right. Soca or dancehall?
Oh my gosh. All right.
So I know again why I asked this.
Let me tell you something.
Any hour you said this, I'm going to walk off the set.
Hold on. I was a soca fanatic for a few years. I would go to all the raves, all the fetes. And to be honest, like one day it just clicked and said, gosh, man, when I kind of get tired, no disrespect to the soca fans, I kind of get tired of the soca. The dancehall now, I've been kind of giving it a listen, but dancehall kind of getting a little aggressive, so I have to kind of tone down with that. Yeah. So usually I listen to more souls or trap R&B. That's kind of my genre these days.
Trap R&B.
Yeah, okay. Something smooth, something yeah.
Okay. All right. I like how you dance around the question. Right? Just dance around the options, not offending anybody. Just dancing around the options. All right, there's a couple more. Movies or series?
Movies.
All right.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle?
Wow.
They're both the right one.
They're both fantastic
comedians. You have to pick the right one.
I'll work with Dave.
Thank you. This one is big.
Oh,
this one.
Right, let me take a sip.
This one is big.
Let me take a sip.
This is the one that we're closing with. Right. This one is very big.
I see even one of the producers looking at you like, oh my gosh, I wonder what he's going
because
to ask.
these are the type of these are the type of questions that can determine the rest of your life
Whoa! All right,
in Jamaica.
let me fix myself for this one then, because this one seems serious.
Usain Bolt or Shelly and Fraser Price.
Wow, Dre, come on, man, come on. They're both fantastic and incredible
but you
human
have
beings.
to pick. We're not talking about the human beings. We're talking about
in terms of what they have accomplished is just magnificent. The way that they've represented Jamaica is one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Not leaving you here without your picking.
Ah, boy.
You can dance, you can DJ and spin however you want.
Yeah.
We're not leaving it to the
Well,
picking.
you know what? I've met Shelly. I've had the opportunity to meet her. She probably won't even remember me, but she has left a lasting impression. She is an amazing leader.
She is a wonderful person.
Fantastic person. However, I have met Usain when I was younger a couple times. Well, Usain is really awesome. I've met him at numerous events. So I'll have to
I figure you'd have met him at numerous events.
Yeah, I'll have to lean towards Usain because, he's just, he's a bro.
We can cut that part out? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. There's no wrong answer, right?
There's no wrong
answer.
Yeah.
Big up Shelly, big up Bolt.
Always.
Richard, once again, thank you very much for passing through.
Thank you so much. And thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, man. Thank you for speaking nice things about the coffee.
Yes.
Right? It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much,
right? And again, everybody, we just like to say thank you for tuning in. This has been the C21 Jamaica podcast. We're out. Yeah.
All right.
I think that was good.